took my love, took it down. I climbed a mountain and I turned around, and I saw my reflection in snow-covered hills.
Cheers, Mom.
Cheers, love. Thank you very much.
Welcome to another podcast of For the Fun of Knit with Linda. I'm your hostess and my sometimes co-host,
Emmy,
otherwise known as Mom. Thank you all for joining us. If you are new to the podcast, welcome. And don't forget, Mom, we have to look at this corner of the screen.
Yes.
If you have been around for a while, thank you so much for returning. This is a podcast all about knitting and fiber fun, and it is strictly for the fun of knit. It is, I'm not a maker. I don't want to monetize the channel. Subscribe if you want to. You don't have to. The only reason you would is if you want to see another episode, but you can also do a Google search and that works just fine. Anyway, thank you for all the viewership on the last podcast. Wow, did not expect that at all. And was at 2,000 viewers, and now I'm close to, 2,000 subscribers, and now I'm somewhere, I don't know, somewhere north of that, which blows me away, because I remember when I started this channel, it was more for a journal just of my knitting, and it turns out that, people are liking it, which is kind of nice. So thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. And one of the things I'm most grateful for about deciding to podcast is the people that I've met, both online and now I can honestly say in person. So I'll get to that later on in the chat or at the end of all the knitting content. But in the meantime, we're going to do the traditional format of finished objects, works in progress. I have a few acquisitions of yarn, and then we'll get into the chitter chatter.
Right.
And it's wonderful to have Mom back. We are drinking water on a very hot Sunday, July 31st. It is July 31st, right?
Yes, it is.
It's July 31st. Tomorrow, Monday, August 1st, is BC Day. So that is our provincial holiday. So we are staying close to home, not crossing any borders or doing anything like that, because the traffic gets absolutely crazy. Hang on 2 seconds. I have to tell my dog to lie down. Duke. Oh. Okay, so we're back. Just had to get Duke to lie down. He wants to be close to us, but it's so warm out here that just trying to get him to find a cool spot is a little challenging. Okay, but without further ado, let's start with finished objects. So let me start. I'll start, and then you do one, because I've got 2 finished objects and you've got 1 finished object, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
So I will start with my long-standing socks. Yay! These are the just my vanilla rib. They're a 3x1 rib, done in. I did this ones. I did cuff down in the most beautiful yarn by Sassy Strings. There you go, Sassy Strings in her Twilight base, and it was a color of the month, if I'm not mistaken. I was doing a sock club last year or the year before, and she has just moved from Etsy to her own website, so Sassy Strings Yarn Studio. So that is my first finished object, and these are on my, what are these? I haven't even taken the tag off. I like them so much. The Unwrapped Yarn Handmade Tools for Yarn Lovers. It's called Unwrapped Yarn. Those are the sock blockers. So that is finished object number 1. Finished object number 2. Fire away. And I'm going to interview Mom on her finished object, by the way.
Okay, well, I finally finished this little sweater that is called the North Fork, but I made some changes on it because I didn't like the length, I didn't like the ribbing on it. So I found another pattern that did have the ribbon I really did like, and that is what I ended up with.
Yeah.
And that is called the
leaf something, right?
leaf top.
Okay.
The leaf top.
Might not be able to see it in this picture, but that is a free pattern, I do believe, on Ravelry called the leaf top. And okay, what specifically did this pattern have around the neck and the ribbing that the North Fork did not?
Well, for one thing, the yarn is totally different. This is a boucle, which is, you know, already a busy pattern. And if you then put a ribbing on it, I didn't like the look of it.
Okay.
So with this, it has the pearl and the knit rows, and I really do like the finish on this.
So the neckline,
And the
just
sleeves,
a little bit of the sleeves, and the bottom is
and
a
the bottom.
garter stitch. Just all Mom did was picked up all the stitches and just did a couple rows of garter. I think 4 rows on, no, it wasn't more than that. It was, I think, 6 rows on the bottom
Yeah,
and 2 or 3 just on the sleeves.
4 rows on the sleeves and
Yeah.
4 or 5 rows on the top.
And tell us a little bit about the yarn.
Well, the yarn is actually a bit of a story because my oldest daughter was already knitting in the early 80s, and she bought this yarn from Penguin Yarns, and it is called the Mikado.
I'll hold that out for you. Penguin Mikado. This is discontinued. They don't make this anymore.
No, they don't. And she left. She's a nurse, and she was nursing in the United States, and that is where she lives now as well with her husband. And I decided that, you know, I was going to use this yarn because she left it behind. And so I thought, well, this would make a nice little sweater for me. So I started knitting it, and I really do like the result of it. It is very light and
Is it comfortable in this weather?
It's very comfortable.
So this yarn, you might not be able to get this yarn again, but the mix of this yarn is 57% cotton, 28% acetate, and 15% viscose. So it actually feels like 100% brushed cotton. Like it
Yeah.
feels very nice.
Very soft.
And it's lovely. I don't know if you can see, but it's got a thread going through it of multicolors, almost like baby pink and chartreuse and white,
Yeah,
along with the aqua.
right.
It's a beautiful job, Mom.
Oh, thank you very much. I love it.
And she's wearing it. This is so exciting.
Yes,
Yay!
yes, exactly.
So anything else you want to say about that sweater?
No, I think this is it. It's
Okay.
just you know, my first finished project.
Yeah. Hold up your jewelry.
And
do you sense a theme?
it matches my rings.
Do you sense a theme? She loves turquoise. There
I
you
like
go.
turquoise.
It's a theme.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so last finished object then is totally not summer appropriate. I'm just going to say that. And just the thought of picking it up. I'm not wearing any knits. It's just too freaking hot. Thank you very much. But I wanted to enter a couple of projects into the Across the Pond shawl knit along, crochet along, that is being hosted by Ruth Loves to Knit and Three Monkeys and me, Fernanda. So Ruth and Fernanda. And so I knit this shawl. I'm going to show you the shawl. This is a DK weight shawl. You can just take it that way, Mom, and keep wrapping it around. And it takes one skein of a main color, and then these wavy things then can be minis or scraps. So it's a great scrap buster shawl. And this is called the Embers Shawl by Lisa Much. So I'm trying to reduce the amount of editing here, folks. So I'm showing you pictures. So this is the Embers Shawl by Lisa Much. And the one thing that I would say, I'll talk about the yarn in a minute, but my one recommendation with this shawl, any shawl really that starts in the middle and then you're adding stitches all along the edge because it's a crescent shape, is either do the three stitches on each edge very loosely, or do add a yarn over in between the first and second stitch to make sure that you get the stretch that you want to block it out. I forgot to do that in the very center, and so this is quite tight, didn't block out very much. But the rest of it, I did do that yarn over, and I got a lot more give along the edge of the shawl. So one day we will put it on, just not today, it's too hot.
Yes.
So this I made because I had some yarn that, again, I was talking to a new knitter, peep of mine, and we were talking about our knits that we make for ourselves. And I don't have as much finished knit work in my closet compared to how much I knit. And that's because I'll knit a project and then go, that would look much better on my mother. Or, that'll look much better on my sister. So, this is predominant. So, the yarns that I used in this shawl are a very beautiful icy lavender color, which is very much my mother's color. Look at this, yes. And that is Ancient Arts, which is a dyer out of Alberta, Canada. I love everything that they do, I'm just saying. And it is their Nettle Soft DK, which is 68% merino, 32% nettle in the lavender cupcake color. Love this color. So that was the start, and how many yards do you get in here? You get 240 meters or 263 yards in their DK skein. I have that much left. Not a lot, but I'll find a use for it. The other yarns that I used are just Stash Busters. This is just I don't even know if I have the label for it. It's just a cream colored that I had left over. This one I love. This beautiful variegated color is, if I'm not mistaken, it is again Ancient Arts in their DK light worsted, which is 100% merino in the African Violet colorway. I said it right this time. Took me a couple tries. And then I also have this colorway, which is a light purple, and I have a darker purple. The lighter purple is held double. It's actually not House Yarns in their Diamond Sock base in Royal Highness colorway. And that would be this one. I had a full skein of it. Oh, my hair is on everything. I had a full skein of it, but I held it double to get the DK weight. And then the darker purple is also an Ancient Arts yarn. Do you have a theme here? Yes, I had a few remnants of Ancient Arts. And this again is the DK light worsted in Spanish lavender. So I had all these beautiful, colors.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Going on. I don't have any left of the speckled. I used every last one of the African Violet, but I have these left over. So that is the Embers Shawl, which I entered into the Across the Pond.
And it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it, Mom?
Gorgeous.
It'll go with your wardrobe.
Yes, absolutely.
More so than mine.
It'll be lovely under my jean jacket.
It'll be lovely under your jean jacket, yes. Of which she has more than one. I'm just saying. There you go. So that was our finished objects. And now, sip of water.
Yes.
Oh my, it's warm. And there's a mason bee flying around us. My garden is full of vegetables. And maybe I'll include a little snippet after. I don't have a large garden, but I do have a little bit of a garden. You can see all my tomato plants back there that are
Lovely.
Probably need watering.
A little oasis.
It's a little oasis if we can sit out of the sun. But there you go. Okay, so let's go on to works in progress. Mom, what are you working on? Pick one.
Okay, I have a couple of them. One of them is this particular one, which I'm going to make a little sweater, and it's called the Ranunculus.
Oh, a little sweater.
A little sweater, and it is a cotton and I believe viscose yarn. Let me just have a look.
This is the Ranunculus. I think everybody's familiar with this pattern.
It's called the Norwegian Yarn Factory.
And it is Sandisgarn line, or line, or I don't know how to pronounce it. I know I'm going to do that horribly. And it is, does it tell us?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does. 53% cotton, 33% viscose, and 14% linen.
Yes.
Which gives it that nice cool factor.
Absolutely.
And
I
colorway?
love it. I love the color.
It is
which is a very pinky lavender.
It is. They got a, oh, Mom, you got a theme going on.
Yes,
Another
you have
theme.
a theme going on. That's right.
Theme. And it's color. It doesn't actually have a color on here. It's got, I don't know if farge.
Well, maybe that is the color, farge.
Yeah, I don't know if that's 4612 is the colorway, or the other number is the colorway, which is 106669. And there you go. Hopefully you can see that. I'm not too sure. But you are knitting the Ranunculus now.
I am.
Are you using the correct needle size? Because it asks for 5.5 millimeter for the ribbing and 6 millimeter.
No, and I'm not, because
sevens
I'm using,
and eights. Pardon me, 8s and 10s in US.
Yes, and I'm using 4 and 4.5.
And you are doing that because you are using thinner yarn.
Thinner yarn.
So what does that mean when you're casting on the sweater?
I have no idea.
Isn't that true? Isn't that true? Isn't that most of us, when we start a new project, we have no idea what we're doing? So what I would suggest, because I've made the Ranunculus, I've made it in a very thick woolly worsted weight yarn. I've also made it in a fingering weight yarn. And so my recommendation to Mom, and if anybody has any thoughts on this, feel free to comment below. Without giving too much of the pattern away, because it's a paid for pattern, it asks every size to cast on 60 stitches if you're making the wider neck, and Mom wants the wider neck. But with this yarn, sorry Mom, I'm stealing your show here.
No, that's okay, love.
This is 60 stitches. It's not enough. It's not going to be enough to fit around her neck.
No.
So I'm recommending that she cast on 90 and then just work the pattern, because she's using a much smaller needle and thinner yarn. And we'll just see how it goes.
Right.
And I have to say, if you haven't knit the Ranunculus yet, it is a great pattern for exactly that reason. You can change the needle sizes, you can change the yarn weight, the fiber, and you will get a different drape, a different size, but you can adjust it so easily, because you can just, it's yoke down and you can try it on as you go. So the yoke is the same for everybody, no matter what yarn you choose and what needle size you choose. But when it comes to what size you want, it's how much raglans you put in. And hang on, I just got to adjust the umbrella for my mom. You're out of the sun. Sorry folks, just had to adjust the umbrella. Yeah. That is the way it goes. Okay, so Ranunculus. So before you go on then, because you talked about that one, I will talk about that one. And I'm knitting another Ranunculus, because one I knit in a winter weight and the other one I gave to my sister. So the chartreusey one that I made last summer. So I am now knitting another one.
That's pretty too, in the white.
In just white. And I don't know where I am here. With inside out maybe. And I don't know what the front is. Okay, there we go. So this is the Ranunculus. Sorry, Mom, I'm covering you up there. I hope you can see that. In white linen, I am using Kestrel, Quince & Company Kestrel, which is 100% organic linen. I got it on sale online. Don't ask me where, I don't even remember. And you only get 76, it's a little on the pricey side, which is why I waited for it to go on sale, and somebody was having some sort of a blowout sale. And this color is called Antler, and it's 76 yards or 70 meters per skein. And it is more of an Aran weight. So Mom is knitting hers in a fingering weight, a sport weight, I would think. This is a sport weight. And I'm knitting mine in an Aran weight. And if you have never knit with this before, I just want to show you this yarn because it's different and I've never knit with it before. This is what's called a chain construction.
Yes, it is.
And
it looks like ribbon.
It looks like ribbon, and it's actually like they've pre-knit all the linen strands together. I'm just picking it apart to see if I can show it to you. It's like they have pre-knit a band, like a couple of millimeters, or, you know, see, I hope you can see that, but it's like it's pre-woven or pre-knit.
And it's very lacy looking.
It's very lacy. And then it's just, and then when you pull it again, it just turns into this flat strip. But that, so it is 100% linen, but it's so fine and so airy that it's not heavy.
No.
It's not what you would think an Aran sweater would be. It's not light, but it's not lace. But it's gonna be nice and airy, I think.
I think it's gonna be lovely.
And the reason I'm doing white is because it goes with everything. And I can wear it on any linen dress or over any linen top.
So how many stitches did you put on then?
Thank you for asking. Good question, Mom. I chose, so again, the pattern calls for US 8, or I think that's a 5 millimeter for the ribbing, and a US 10 or 6 millimeter for the body. I didn't like how loopy that was, so I sort of adapted it, and I did the ribbing in a 5 millimeter, which is a 7, and then I'm doing the body in a 5.5. So I only went down like literally 1 needle size. But I cast on 60 stitches as required, and that was just not wide enough for me. I like a wider neck, so I cast on 80.
Oh, did you?
That's why I'm recommending that you cast on 90, because your needles are that much smaller.
Yes.
And a thinner yarn.
Yeah.
So I think...
Okay, we shall do that.
Yeah. And hey, that's the adventure and misadventure of knitting. You just try. And then this is a pattern you're going to want to knit again. So it's a lot of fun.
It's lovely.
Yeah. And I just have to show you this because this makes me so happy in the summertime. This is my stitch marker. It's a little watermelon.
Oh, cute.
It's a little slice of watermelon. And I got that from K-Zip Knits out of Summerland. So Kelsey, I belonged to her summer sock club last year. I did a couple months of that. Loved it. It was all summer beverages. And one of them was a watermelon margarita, and she sent it with a watermelon stitch marker. I thought that was really cute.
Yeah.
And that is being housed in the Tangled Stitch. So this is Kelly O'Brien she's got an Etsy shop called the Tangle Stitch. She's also one half of the Knits and Pieces podcast. So that is that work in progress. Do you have another work in progress, Mom?
Yes, I do. I do actually. I have a little shawl that
This is just a beginning work in progress.
Yes, it is. That one, I forgot what it is called, but it's that one. Estelle.
No, that's the yarn. It's called the
Corona Caplet.
That's right. There you go. This is the Corona Caplet by Estelle Yarns, and it's a free pattern on Ravelry.
Right. And I thought it would be just nice under, over a little blouse or something in the winter, under a jacket. It'd be very nice.
And so what is the yarn? Do you know what yarn you're using?
Oh yeah, there is a thing in here.
So it's a nice lacy pattern, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Oh, did I put that in there?
Let me just have a look and see if it is in...
Oh,
this is actually the yarn that Susan gave me.
Classy.
Okay, so this is called Pretty in Pink. It is sock weight yarn, 50% merino wool and 50% silk, which is
that's lovely.
Superwash.
Okay, and who is it? It's by...
It is Marigold
Jen. And unfortunately, Marigold Jen does not dye anymore. She has closed her Etsy shop. but Marigold Jen, and I think Classy got this probably at the Shenandoah Sheep Festival.
Yeah, she probably did.
And Jenny Porter, you hand-dyed yarns. Yeah, no, she doesn't dye yarn anymore, unfortunately. But Pretty in Pink, what a lovely color. And it's
Yes,
completely
it is.
variegated. I'll fix all that for you later on.
Yeah.
It's got predominantly a rosy pink, but then it's got some peaches in it. And it's got some blue and some purple. Very light colors. Oh, it's lovely.
Yeah.
That's going to be a very
it feels
nice.
really nice and
It's
soft.
very soft. It absolutely is. That's lovely. So that's one work in progress. Okay, works in progress for me. Where should I go? I will just go through all my socks really quickly because socks are socks. What can I tell you about socks? So my first set of socks are just vanilla. I'm doing cuff down. I hope you can see this colorway. I'm doing cuff down. I'm actually doing just a makeshift knit 3 slip 1 type of detail. I hope you can see that on these socks. I tried this before, June, don't laugh at me, but I tried this before last year, I think, and I cast on my normally 64 stitches for my sock, and I started this pattern, and the socks were this wide and they wouldn't fit over my feet, and I couldn't figure out why. Well, it's because if you slip a stitch in a pattern, you just slip and keep knitting, slip and knit, you're actually removing that slip stitch from your overall stitch count. It's completely closing it up. Now, you can do a couple of things, I understand, to counterbalance that. If I had kept a 64 stitch count, I could have knit 3, yarned over, slipped 1, knit 3, yarned over, slipped 1, and that yarn over would have given more space. But I opted just to cast on 72 stitches. Adventures and misadventures in knitting, why not? So I cast on 72. I did a 2x2 rib on the front, or on the cuff, pardon me. I've just been knitting happily. I've tried them on. They seem to fit really well. I'm just at the point now where I'm going to start knitting the back just in plain stockinette, because I'm going to do an afterthought heel. After all the different heels I've been doing, I still think the afterthought heel fits me the best. It's the most customizable. But at that point, I know 72 stitches is going to be too much. So I am going to knit a couple of rounds where I'm just doing stockinette for the bottom of my foot. And then I'm actually going to decrease probably to 68 stitches so that I just have this pattern on the top, and then I have the regular number of stitches on the bottom. So stay tuned. The yarn is Homespun House Hogwarts Christmas colorway 2020, I do believe. So it's, I think everybody knows Molly from a Homespun House. Love this yarn, absolutely. It is 80% merino, 20% nylon, but super squishy. You get 407 yards or 390 meters. And this is called Christmas. I don't know if you can see that. Christmas at Hogwarts 2020. I'm hoping she does another one. I keep checking online for her when she's going to release her Christmas collection, but I haven't seen it. I wish I had purchased 2021. Ellie from Craft House Magic just showed some socks. No, I'm sorry. Kay from the Bakery Bears just showed socks that she completed in her Christmas in July podcast. And I love it. It's all the greens with these colors as speckles. And it was the 2021 Hogwarts Christmas at Hogwarts. I didn't know she did it annually, otherwise I would have bought that. So I'm looking out to see if there's a 2022. So not that Molly would ever watch this channel, but could everybody petition her, please, to do a Hogwarts Christmas 2022? Thank you, because I'd like to collect them. So that's one pair of socks. Excuse the air conditioner. The next pair of vanilla socks I'm doing is knit with Timber Yarns, which is a Canadian dyer. If I can pull it out. Where are you? Where is my little... Sorry, I'm fishing around. Timber Yarns in their Holiday Magic self-striping colorway. So another great Canadian dyer, which I love. Very, very good self-striping yarn. If you're particular about how they match And I have to say all the stripes come out very, very evenly. But this is holiday magic. Look at that pink. Oh my God.
I love that.
That pink is so lovely. So my new Christmas colorway, I think, is pink and green together. Pink and chartreuse is a great Christmas theme colorway. So normally this wouldn't speak Christmas to me, but for some reason it does. And I am again just doing some vanilla socks, 64 stitches, toe up this time, using Jenny's Magic Cast On. Toe up, I'm gonna knit as far as I can, do the cuffs, and then the heels, I will choose whatever color heel I want once I determine what stripe I'm gonna break up to place the afterthought heels. So that is those, lovely, and I've got them in some yarn cozies. Don't know where I got these, but my sister gave them to me for Christmas. I don't know where they're from, but very handy if you're pulling from the inside of your skein, which I am. So that's those two. And the last sock, I know I've got a few socks, Mom.
Yeah, they're...
I'm considering this to be one work in progress. It's 3 pairs of socks.
Yes.
Because, yeah, I had a bit of cast-on-itis on the sock front. The last pair of socks, now this requires special mention because a very, very generous lady from J Peanuts Designs, these are her abandoned socks. B-A-N-D-O-N. Bandon socks, J Peanuts. She donated this pattern and several others to me. She gifted them to me and I couldn't be more thrilled. I think last year or the year before I tested her Leaving Devonshire socks and I love them. They're a lacy pattern.
You made those, didn't you?
The Leaving Devonshire I did. I haven't made these. This is a different pattern that just came out, or that she gifted to me. I don't know when it came out. So I am now on a mission to knit all those socks. Thank you very much. And I haven't gotten that far because, hey, I'm working on many, many, many projects. But I am doing cuff down, 1x1 ribbing. And this is the Bells sock yarn. And let me just, again, Bells. It's called Belle. Oh, come on. It's Belle, and it is their merino and nylon blend, 80-20 in the Scarlet colorway. So again, another Canadian dyer from back east that does wonderful, wonderful sock yarn, but beautiful tonals. I really do like them for their tonals. So those are the 3 sock projects I currently have on the go, and they are being housed in my Christmas
They're
from
so cute.
Quanta Fibers. So both of these project bags, this one I've turned into a bucket, but that's the color underneath. I've just turned this one into a bucket.
They're so pretty.
They're very pretty, and she doesn't make them anymore. She closed her Etsy shop, so I'm very disappointed in that too. So sorry I'm showing you stuff you can't buy, but there you go. A nice quilted Christmas in July bag.
But you have taken to making them yourself.
Well, I say that I've taken to making them myself, but I've only made one.
You gave me one, and I love it.
And this is the one I made Mom. Yes.
Yeah.
So Mom's got a project in here too. Which one is this? Oh, is this a work in progress?
It is a work in progress, and it's, I believe, my socks.
Okay. So these are Mom's socks. Mom, your work in progress. She's knitting. She's doing what she should be doing, which is knitting during the podcast.
These are my... Now, it has taken me a long time to do them, and I'm not quite finished yet. I have to do a little bit more of the ribbing, and then I can start on the second sock. But I do love the self-striping effect, and I made a couple of boo-boos in there. But,
no such thing. Those are.
But who sees that? But right. I don't even see it.
Who's to know? As Julia Child would say about cooking, who's to know?
Yeah.
But now, what sock was what? I don't have the ball band in here, Mom. This was a Regia, right? Regia. This was a Regia.
Yes.
If I find the ball band, I'll put it in the notes.
It had nylon in it.
Yeah.
For strength.
Yeah, it's 75-25.
Yeah, but it is a fingering.
Look at the self-striping pattern. I love that. That makes it so much fun to knit.
It does.
There you go. And Mom, I don't see any mistakes.
Well, no, you
can't
see
any
it because
mistakes.
of the striping thing, but I did make a few mistakes. as usual, because I do that a lot.
And in a project bag, my very first attempt at a project bag. No, I have no intentions of making them and selling them. And if you looked inside of this, you would know why, because I am not that good at
No, this is lovely. I love it.
Very happy little project bag.
Yeah, it is.
So that's that work in progress. Okay, the next work in progress I want to show you. I got lots of works in progress. Now, if you remember from a couple of podcast, vlogs, whatever ago, I started the Nurture sweater by Andrea Mowry. And I stopped for two reasons. I'm going to go back. I'm going to rip it all out. I only got to about, you start with the sleeves. It's one of the things I really loved. It was a DK weight sweater in a natural fiber, which I love, that I got from Wool Maiden out of Nelson. Thank you so much. Beautiful, beautiful yarn. And I got to about the elbow length on the sleeves. And two things that are bothering me. One, I'm a little tight. The stitch pattern is super easy and super fun to do. But I think I have to go up a size because for some reason my gauge is a little tighter. No harm, no foul. Awesome. But what I'm not liking is because I'm doing the magic loop, and I have to think about this. I'm doing the magic loop and I'm getting a really awkward seam on one side. Just on the inside, it's a really, you know, it's a really messy joint, turnaround. I don't know. So I haven't really seen anything online. Nobody seems to be talking about that. I don't know why with Magic Loop I'm getting that. I don't get that in my socks. I don't get that in other patterns. But I think it's just a matter of where the slip stitches or whatever the pattern is asking for is falling, that it's giving me a really bad jog and I don't like it. It's very evident. So I'm either going to have to find a YouTube solution. If anybody has a solution to that, let me know. I'm either going to have to find a solution to that, or I'm going to have to do it in like 9-inch circulars or 12-inch circulars and just knit one sleeve at a time, which is not what I want to do. I prefer Magic Loop, but I don't want that jog. So that one's sort of in the corner for the moment, but I want to get back to it because it'll be a beautiful, very versatile sweater for me. I have aspirations of like sewing some overalls. So
and dresses.
And some dresses. I have all these aspirations. One day I'll get to it. But that sweater I can see, because it's a little bit more fitted, would be really nice in the winter with some corduroy overalls.
I was really, you know, pleasantly surprised how well she did on the little project bag, because that was one of the first things that she sewn, because she has never sewn before. And
well, I sewed a little bit with you as a teenager, but it never cottoned on, and then a little bit with Dragonette in my mid-20s, but that never cottoned on either.
No.
She was like such a fabulous seamstress that, you know, it was just like, whoa, a little overwhelming for me. So no, I never really finished anything.
No.
I'm famous for that. Never really finishing anything. However, I'm on a mission to finish all my long-standing whips, and this is the Astraeus sweater by Megan Regan of Bad Wolf Girl Knits, and this is the Astraeus. Hope you can see that. Now, I was thinking I would do it in sort of a Christmassy theme, so I chose multicolored yarns. It's not Christmassy at all, folks. It's just now a colorful colorwork sweater that I have done. And since I saw you last at the beginning of July, I have knit all of the colorwork. The colorwork pattern is supposed to have more strands going down here. I opted to not do that and just do some spots. I don't know why, but I just didn't want too much more of the creamy yellow. I just wanted to break it up a bit, and so I made it super long. And I've done, see, black is so hard to see. Hopefully you can see that. Sorry, Mom, I'm covering you.
No, that's okay, dear.
2x2 ribbing. And what I have done, and there's a misadventure in here. I'll get to that. There's always a misadventure. So what I did is I hope you can see this. I have done a split hem. And what I decided to do is on the back side, I made the back an inch longer than the front. But I also added 6 stitches on each side before I started the ribbing. because my thought was I'm going to tuck that underneath the front and sew that in so that I have a nice little overlap on the front and back ribbing. I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't know if it'll look bulky or not, but I just thought that would be a nicer finish than just the V. You know, you stop the stockinette and then boom, you go into the ribbing.
Well, it's a good way of trying.
And now, of course, they're mowing the lawn. Why are they mowing the lawn now? Or air blowing leaves?
It's a Sunday morning.
It's a Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're going to have to pause this podcast because I don't think you're going to be able to hear through that. So we or me will come back to you shortly. Anyway, that is... Okay, so I'm back. A couple hours later, it is mid-afternoon on July 31st. Well, Mom and I did try to do a podcast together, but our neighbor decided to leaf blow for a good hour. So it just got too hot. Mom had to go, had other things to do. So we're just going to continue on. And one thing I did forget to mention in the intro is I haven't forgotten about the giveaway. So we're going to do that very shortly. We're going to do that before I do the acquisitions and the chatter. So for those of you that are holding your breath, wanting to know if you've won and then you're going to go skedaddle, all good. But for those of you that want to stick around for the chatter afterwards, that would be appreciated too. So I was talking about the Australis cardigan. And excuse me. And what I always love to say is there's always adventures and misadventures in my knitting. So a couple things. I followed the pattern exactly. I'm using the right weight of yarn, which is, I do believe I'm using the right weight of yarn. I'll have to check that, but I think so. What I'm using is DK/light worsted all the way through. The black colors, I laugh, because I am using Cascade Longwood. I don't know if it's still in fabrication, but just in a black colorway. And it is a Aran weight, 100% merino 4-ply yarn, and it knits up beautifully. Can't say I love knitting with black, but I love the stitch definition. And I'm not doing cables or anything. I don't know if you can see that, but the actual lines of the stitches show really nicely. And along with the ribbing, it is a very, it's just very flattering to the stitches. And I think if you did cabling in this type of a yarn, which is very, you know, at the time I paid $16 Canadian for it, it's kind of affordable. I think that makes a really nice sweater for cabling, and it's very soft to the skin. So hey, for a commercial yarn, I would recommend that. All of my color motifs are done in Black Cat custom yarns out of Chilliwack, BC. And keep in mind, originally I was thinking, oh, I was going to do this in a Christmas theme. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm not the most brilliant person. Hang on, I got a needle sticking in here somewhere. I am not the most brilliant person when it comes to putting colors together, I don't think. But I started with a red and white, which is Sailor Jupiter in their Blingtron. So their Blingtron base. So this is Black Cat custom yarn. Black Cat custom yarn out of Chilliwack, BC. Be careful, there's another Black Cat yarns in the US. This is out of Chilliwack, British Columbia, Canada. And their Blingtron 400 is their Stellina base. So it is 84% merino, 16% Stellina, which is just a type of a nylon, but it's glittery. And so you can't see the glitter, but this glitters, it all glitters. And I was doing red and green, and I thought, how boring. I'm always doing red and green Christmases, and I really like different colors now for Christmas. I don't just gravitate just to red and green. And so I thought, oh, icy blue, that's kind of Christmassy. Why I put purple in it? Purple is not Christmassy, but this is called Transmutation. I think I just fell in love with the actual yarn. So let me just show you some of the yarns. So this is Sailor Jupiter. This one I can't remember the colorway. Valperion, I think. Valperon. Again, Stellina. Then you have this beautiful icy blue, which I'm using. And then this is transmutation, and I just love this. I just fell in love with the yarn. So much for Christmas, but there you go. Fell in love with that. And then I wanted the star motif because this motif down here is really like shooting stars, you know? And then if you look at the original pattern, it does have a tail that goes down on each of these stars. I just opted not to do that. And so I am using their Blingtron in their Fairy Food colorway, which is a stellina, held together with some Kid Silk Haze mohair. And that just sort of lightens it all up. Did the body a lot longer. What I would say, and this is the adventure and misadventure knitting, the yoke, fits me like a dream. Love it, love it, love it. The body, I don't know if I can stand up and show you this, but the body, yeah, I'm too close to the camera, but the body is going more A-line. It's much wider. Here's me, and then I have like literally 3 inches on. I probably have 6 inches of positive ease, which I don't mind. I'm thick around the middle. I can use some positive ease, but I tried to make it legging length, you know, so that once it blocks, I'm hoping that it will drop just from the weight of it about 1 inch or 2, and it will hit me nicely upper mid thigh with a split, with that nice deep split hem. So now I just have to get my mojo, my colorwork mojo back to start on the sleeves. I was going to do them 2 at a time, but it's too complicated with all the different yarns, you know, holding it all together. So I'm just going to do the color work 1 by 1. And then once the color work's done, I will do magic loop all the way down. Now, big misadventure for me. This is the problem when you have a big stash. Sometimes you get confused on your yarns. I don't know what I was thinking. I have a needle poking through here, so stop that. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know if you can even see it. I'm going to try and... Oh, yes, you can. Can you tell the color difference? Now, probably it's harsher on the camera than it is in real life, or maybe not. Maybe that's just what I'm trying to tell myself. But I have a stash of a totally different 100% merino from Cascade that is... So this is a worsted weight, and this is a light worsted weight. And I did not notice I caked up the wrong balls. I had a couple of balls pre-caked, thinking I would do something with them. And I think it might've been Patty's sweater originally, which is why I bought the yarn, but I couldn't stand knitting with the black in Fisherman's Rib. And oh my gosh, I used the wrong, I didn't even notice. So I just made sure I did exactly the same on the, you know, the back. It's all knit in the round. So I did the ribbing of the back exactly in the same yarn, so you can see that there's a color difference there. Yes, you can see that quite distinctly. It's a good thing this is going to be more like a sweatshirt. So that's the misadventure in knitting. So I'm going to do the same thing with this. Well, no, I probably won't do the same thing. I'll do the sleeves in the right color, but I might do the cuffs in the darker color, just so that it has some sort of semblance of symmetry, I guess. I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. But check with me in a month and see how far I've gotten with this. This is going to be a great sweatshirt sweater. It's not Christmassy. It is just color work and TV watching and just being cozy. So that is my Astraeus. Love, great. The pattern is very well written. Absolutely love it. Excuse me, as you can see the top of my head there. I'm a bit of a hot mess, as they say. So that was one of my works in progress. The last work in progress I'm going to share with you is something that I had no intentions of knitting. I wanted to use the yarn, because you'll remember I swatched with the yarn, but this was not the sweater. I didn't really have an intended sweater, I don't think, for it. And so what I decided to knit was the Calliope. So this is the Calliope. It's a free pattern, so even though there's instructions on here, I'm not doing anything wrong. This is the Calliope sweater, and it's by Espace Tricot, and I'm going to show you a different picture. I chose it very specifically, and I'm going to cover myself up. I think that's the easiest thing to do. I just want to make sure you can see it. This particular picture, if you can see that, I loved the depth of the ribbing on the sleeves and the depth of the ribbing on the body. I just thought it gave a very simple raglan a very classic look. So there's another view. Hopefully you can see that. Anyway, so I am doing that on my Shibui apple. So I am using, and I'll show you both skeins. This is how far I've gotten. And if I showed you the right way, which is the back, there you go. I'm of course not showing this properly. Now I have done short rows. The pattern does not call for short rows in the back. I have done a few short rows, as you can see, just hoping that it will drop that front neckline a bit. My modification is I am using different needles. Am I using different needles? I'll have to check. I only did 2.5 inches, not 3 inches of this. Actually, this I think called for 4 inches. Yeah, this called for 4 inches. I only went for just over 2 inches. Because I didn't like the way the picture showed, it gaped at the top a little bit. The other thing that I did is, I don't know if you can see this because I can't really tell, but I did a tubular cast on. Yes, I fought my way through a tubular cast on with mohair. So this is 1 strand of mohair and 1 strand of the Shibui silk. The body, I doubled up on the Shibui silk. So let me see which yarns I'm talking about here. I am talking about, where's my mohair? Okay, sorry. This is the Shibui staccato, pardon me, which is 70% merino, 30% silk. And it is a fingering weight. It's beautiful. It's 2-ply. Paired with the Shibui Silk Cloud, which is their silk mohair, both in the apple colorway. So the neck ribbing, I just held both of those together. In the actual body, I found that the neck ribbing was a little bit too lacy for me. I am holding 2 strands of the staccato with 1 strand of the mohair. Now, interestingly enough, and I didn't check this, I didn't even think to check this beforehand, is I pulled out 2 skeins and started knitting on the body. But I noticed, and these are both staccato, I don't know if you can see that, but one of these is much thinner than the other one. I don't know if you can see that, but this puppy is like half the thickness of this one. And so I'm thinking this is one of the reasons they discontinued the line, is because they couldn't get this anymore. Because these are not the same. This is what I would consider to be a light fingering or lace, and this is a fingering. So this is the only skein I have that is like that is skinny. All the rest of them are this thicker staccato. So I don't know if that's going to be a problem going down the line, or we shall see. But that is my last work in progress, I think. Is that my last work in progress? For now. So let's have a little bit of fun. As I was saying, we are doing a giveaway for these 2 skeins of Shoot Lake Fingering, which is 100% superwash, a non-superwash Falkland Merino. These are lovely. This is a limited edition. It's called Mulled Wine, and it was in the spirit of Christmas in July. So it's July 31st. You might not see this until the first week of August, but I made it to my deadline. So let's give these away. And so I just asked you to comment on what podcasters that were new to you. If anybody is looking for podcast suggestions, please look at, I think it was episode 26. Because, the amazing number of podcasts that are out there. Fun to see all the common ones that we like. Fun, and I've watched. The names I didn't recognize, I went in and I took a look at them, and some of them are absolutely fabulous. So we had 318 individual comments about podcasts that you watch, and we are now going to pick a winner. So, wow, that happened quickly. Michelle Boland, New to You podcast. I found your channel earlier today. I found the Nitty Stew while searching Canadian podcasts for knitters, and then I found yours. I love the longer chatty videos. Thanks for the company and the chance to enter the giveaway. She's located in Labrador. Wonderful. Michelle Boland. Excellent. You're the winner. Congratulations. So if you can please email me at nenaknits @gmail.com with your particulars. I will surely get this out to you in the next week or so. So thank you so much. Loved all the comments. And like I said, if you want to look for a podcast, take a look at that list on the last video. It's just lovely. And if you're thinking about doing a podcast, whether it's knitting or some other interest that you have, go for it. There cannot be too many, because just as many of us start as we stop. You know, we do it for a while and then the interest wanes and, you know, life gets busy or whatever and people change. So by all means, I highly recommend it. It is a fun thing to do. It takes a little bit of organizational skills. And as you can see, sometimes things don't necessarily work out that easily. But yeah, I strongly support you. If you have a passion for doing a podcast, go for it. I'm all in. And let me know if you do, because I'd love to watch. Okay, let's talk a little bit about acquisitions that I have in a little basket here. I, every once in a while, like to try out new sock clubs. I don't do them for a long period of time. I'll do it for 2 or 3 months and then move on to something else, unless, I don't know, unless they just are, well, they're all fabulous. It's not even that. I just like to try other yarns and other dyers. So this is the Mystery Manor Sock Club from Les Garçons. So that is Max the Knitter and Dyed by Dells out of Montreal. And look at the 2 enamel pins that you get. You also got stitch markers, which I'll show you in a second. So this was their Mysterious Manor. And I think in a couple weeks they're coming out with another sock club if you are interested in another sock club. Why do I only have one of their skeins here? Oh no, here it is. Here they are. So the first one that I got was this one, very moody, and that's why I liked it. I wanted some moody colors, and this is called The Butler. So from the Mysterious Manor, and it came with, look at that. It came with that stitch marker, the candlestick holder. Isn't that lovely? In this beautiful, this is called Cheryl 8's Coal Gray. And this is called The Butler. Absolutely lovely. Is that right? Oh, no, pardon me. Other way around. This is called The Butler. And this is Cheryl 8's Cold Gray. Pardon me. That makes more sense. Lovely color. And the second month came with this one, which is the Uninvited Guest. Pardon me. This is the Uninvited Guest paired with Vanilla's Ice Blue Mini. And this one came with a cute bow tie. Oops, hang on. Show that the proper way. A cute bow tie stitch marker. Hopefully you can see that. But very cute, which I do believe is the mouse, if I'm not mistaken. But look at those. Those are absolutely gorgeous. So I've got one more month, and I do believe that that is in the mail. And so I will show you that on the next podcast. The other acquisition I get is the sock club from Camp Fiber Yarns. And Laura just came out with a new line, I guess, or collection. And the name is escaping me at the moment. Why can't I think of it? Anyway, I ordered the mini set because I just wanted to see what all the colors looked like. So before I bought, but hopefully she'll be able to custom dye some of them after her. I think it might have been a limited edition, so I might be out to lunch. But anyway, this is her Strawberry Lemonade Plump 85 DK. So it's 85 merino, 15% nylon in the Strawberry Lemonade colorway. And I just love it. And she includes, and she did this with every one of them, she includes a recipe card for the drink of choice. So while I am not doing a beverage today because it was too early in the morning when I was taping, I'm thinking when my sister comes, we're going to podcast again with Mom. We'll make some strawberry lemonade and add a little bit of fuel to the lemonade. Excellent. Does it come with anything? Oh no, this is the non-alcoholic version, but I might add a little something to it. The last acquisition is, as you know, Ancient Arts is one of my favorite yarn dyers. And this is just their superwash merino and cultivated silk. So it's 75% merino, fine merino, and 25% silk. I wanted something that had silk in it. I'm trying to find some silk yarns. I would like 100% silk, but for some reason I don't come across those very often. So if any of you know of any dyers that actually hand dye silk, I'd love to know that, because I keep looking on my old faves, but silk is not really, superwash merino seems to be the main thing. I'm not finding a lot of silk. But this is fingering weight. It's 437 yards or 400 meters. And this is the paperweight colorway. Now, this is not the right weight for what I was thinking. I have always wanted to make Joji Locatelli's All the City Lights. I think it's called All the City Lights cardigan. It's a cabled cardigan. And I wanted something that was speckled, but not too much color. And this is her paperweight colorway, and it is beautiful. It is a soft dove gray and a little bit of very, very light gray or almost white with hints of navy and plum, just lightly speckled throughout. And it is just absolutely gorgeous. So the pattern actually calls for, I do believe, DK weight. So it's called All the City Lights, or All the Lights. I'll have to take a look at that. But something that I have had in my queue for a while that I would like to knit, and I was just looking for the right yarn. So I think I have found the right colorway. I just now have to find the right weight of yarn. And I'd prefer it not to be in superwash if I can avoid it. I don't know. Ancient Arts does do the nettle. I liked the nettle DK. It's such a lovely feel, but they also have the, I think it's called Lazo, which is a non-superwash, which is a Falkland and Argentinian, I think it's Peruvian wool and something else blend. So I might take a look at that, but this is paperweight. I love this color. Oh my God. Might have to be something very soon because I just absolutely love the color. So those are my acquisitions. I haven't said half of what I wanted to say today. But let's catch up on the chatter, if there is any chatter. Oh yes, okay. So if you're going to sign off now because you don't want to listen to the chatter, no harm, no foul. Have a wonderful day. For those of you that are sticking around for the chatter, thank you so much. Because again, part of my ambition for podcasting is that I just keep you company while you're knitting. So you don't even have to look at what I'm doing. If it's just a voice in the background, you know, that's terrific, because for me, I love the company when I'm knitting, and so I'm thinking other people might appreciate that as well. So since I podcasted last, which is early July, boy, has it been interesting weather. Golf has been intermittent. They're having a lot of tournaments right now. The weather was really bad for a while. Membership is increased, summer's hit, and it's hard getting tea times again. So me walking on at 7 o'clock in the morning isn't turning out to be as easy as I thought. Not only that, Duke got really sick. Don't forget, he's 13 and a half years old, and he has always had a sensitive digestive system. Let's leave it at that. He got really sick. So there was 5 or 6 days there where I was trying to figure out what was wrong with him. Numerous vet visits, cleaning up a lot of stuff. We'll just leave it at that. Not the fun part of having a pet or being a guardian, but necessary. He's an old man. Worked it out, so he's on the mend. He's not 100%. There's definitely something irritating his digestive system, and it's some sort of parasite. They can't figure out what it is, so it's touch and go in terms of how he feels. And I hate using antibiotics, because the more antibiotics you use, the harder it is on your dog and their organs, and it just makes them sicker, not better. And so I go through that whole war in my head. But right now he's fine. Right now everything is normal and functioning as it should. He's still slow as molasses. A good walk for us takes us 20 minutes to walk around the block. Yeah, he's slow. And in this heat, it doesn't help. But yeah, so that sort of impeded golf a little bit. In my last podcast, I said, hey, if anybody wants to get together and start a knit night, because I was going to start a knit night. I miss that in-person contact. I love all the virtual stuff, and I am going to be a Knits and Pieces chat night girl for life. But there is something to say for actually meeting in person, and I know some of you can't do that. So I do big hug to all of you, because I know that would be lovely. For a lot of us, it just stopped because of COVID. So I thought, okay, COVID is sort of still out there. Don't think it's not, because it is. But I think it's a little bit more manageable, or we're all just a little bit more informed now and feeling a little bit more comfortable to adopt some of our old habits without going crazy. And so I thought an in-person knit event would be fun. And so I just reached out to a couple of, actually, some of my viewers reached out to me, I guess. And I don't consider you to be viewers. You know who you are. So 3 of us got together, and I do want to say a shout out to Mary June and Jackie. Hello. It was fabulous. We met at a local cafe, and I honestly thought, oh, well, maybe an hour, you know, because I'm not too sure. Will we get along? We don't know. I mean, we have knitting in common for sure, but oh my goodness, we got along like a house on fire. It was so much fun. So 2 hours later, it's like, okay, folks, we got to break this up because we all have to go home for dinner now. So I'm happy to say that for the Fun of Knit Night, which is right now an afternoon coffee shop, has started, and we're going to be meeting every week to the best of my knowledge, but it is going to be based on our schedules. And if anybody is local and would like to join, please just message me either on email or Instagram, and I will happily send you out the info if you would like to join. Big fun part about that is you really get an idea of what people are knitting, what patterns are out there. You might have seen things and thought, no, it doesn't really resonate for me, until you see it in person. And I have to say, Jackie was knitting the souffle, which I'm going to show you here, by Petite Knits. Pardon me, by Penrose Knits. Sorry, Laura Penrose Knits. And it's called the souffle. And this particular rendition of it is done in double-stranded mohair, I believe. But Jackie had done hers in, the yarn is escaping me. I've forgotten. I do believe it was a silk and merino blend, or a cotton and merino blend, rather than the mohair. And oh, in this sort of taupey mushroom color. Oh, absolutely. I've seen that picture before, but it really wasn't on my radar until I saw Jackie wearing hers. And it was, first of all, she's a fabulous knitter. She's an artist. Fabulous knitter. And it was just a beautiful, beautiful, classic looking sweater. She's also knitting 2 other ones in a combination of mohair and other yarns, and they're both fabulous. So that's now in the queue. And then June was knitting. And again, I have looked at Andy, I think it's Sunderland. All her little fitted cropped sweaters, they've all got a little bit of lace detail. Yeah, it's Andy Sunderland, I'm pretty sure. But I've never actually knit one. I've never bought a pattern, but June was making it in a worsted weight. I think it was a worsted weight, just in cream. And just seeing it in person and how the construction works to fit it, I won't go into detail because it's paid for a pattern. Oh my goodness, it inspired me. So now I'm just going through all of those patterns to see which one can I knit, because I like that idea of a nicely fitted cardigan that's cropped to go over dresses, as opposed to, you know, the boxy type, which I like the crop boxy type too, but this was fitted a little bit more classic, and she was just doing it in off-white. Looked lovely, looked lovely. And Mary's doing the Ranunculus. Yay! The world's most popular pattern, which I'm of course doing as well. So it was just so much fun. So thank you ladies for that. It was most enjoyable, and we met at Indigo Cafe on 34th Street, which was perfect because there was nobody in it at that time in the afternoon, and it worked out really, really well. So I'm very, very grateful for that, and very grateful that we're going to be meeting again. So yeah, anybody wants to join, just reach out to me. I'm happy to send you the information, and we'll see how it goes. We're all pretty open, we're pretty flexible, and we're just sort of testing the waters at this point. So there you go in a nutshell. You saw Mum is doing well. My sister is coming August 24th. So I am so excited to have her here. She's going to be here for 3 weeks. And no news on Spain yet, but as soon as I hear something, I'll share, but that's still in the works. So hopefully we will hear something shortly in the next month or so, which would be great because yeah, we would like to go there. Well, we are going there for Christmas. We're already booked to go and we have a place to stay, but it would really be nice if we could find something that was ours. So other than that, No other knitting events coming up. Knit City is coming up September, I think September 24th, 25th weekend. I would love to go to that, but I can't commit because I don't know where I'll be. You know, that's just the way it is. Other than that, I have nothing else, folks. I hope that you enjoyed this, and please be reminded you don't need to watch these videos all in one go. You can pause it and restart it, pause it, restart it, because I don't know if anybody wants to hear me drone on for an hour and 20 minutes all in one go. But thank you so much for watching, whether you're a new viewer or an existing returning knitting peep. I greatly appreciate it. I loved all the comments, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a wonderful day or evening. Take care. Bye-bye.
Took my love, took it down. I climbed a mountain and I turned around, and I saw my reflection in snow-covered hills till the landslide brought me down. Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child within my heart rise above? Can I sail through the changing ocean tides? Can I handle the seasons